To be exact, Mikhail Kornienko and Scott Kelly's mission lasted 340 days, 8 hours, and 44 minutes. That is the record for the longest single stay aboard the ISS, which is sure to remain unbroken in the near future. However, during their 340-day mission, records were probably the last thing on the minds of the astronauts. Each day of their stay became part of the most substantial scientific experiment on the International Space Station ever. Well, my dear friends, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being so supportive during this hard year. We're returning home. Staying here are 3 astronauts, 3 friends of ours, Yuri Malachenko, Tim Kopra, and Tim Peake. A bit later, a new crew of 3 other astronauts will join them. Here I leave a part of myself. I hope one day I'll come back to the ISS and meet you again. Here's my cabin. I've already taken off the crew emblem. There's a tradition to hang an emblem over the entry. The cabin is empty at this moment. Yesterday I conducted a special cleaning procedure that took 3 hours. To do that, I had to halfway disassemble it, clean all the air ducts, as ventilation is crucially important. We can't do without it in space. Yes, that's my cabin. The computers are left here and wait for the next crew. Probably Oleg Skripochka will live here after I leave. Well, these are packages, small bags, which are always useful for storing various things. That's the way it is. As you see, my sleeping bag that should be fixed along this even surface is already packed. We're getting ready for the departure, dear televiewers. And now a small piece of mirror. Dear televiewers, this is our friend Tim Kopra, commander of the ISS. Now he's got some work to do, and before leaving, he wants to address you with a few kind and warm farewell words. Tim, please. Thanks, Misha.
I would just like to say, as the brand new commander of Expedition 47, and having been a crew member on Expedition 46 with Misha, it has been such a pleasure to get to know Misha and work with him. I consider him a great friend and an outstanding astronaut and colleague. And thank you so much. And I would also like to say that we have this orbiting laboratory, and I'm so grateful for the work that Misha has done here on this great mission.
Thank you, Tim.
Hello, I'm Tim Peake on board the International Space Station, and it's been a huge privilege to be up here to be serving with my fellow crewmates. We're a fantastic orbiting laboratory here in space, doing great science every day and maintaining this wonderful outpost in space as well. It's been a pleasure to serve with my Russian crewmates, and I've really enjoyed working with Misha Kornienko and wish him a safe and successful landing today, and of course Sergei Volkov as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks a lot. Let's shake hands. Thank you. Thank you for your warm wishes. And Commander Scott Kelly, my friend and partner on the one-year mission. Make him feel welcome. Today, in 11 hours and 30 minutes, we're going to descend. It'll be very soon. Yes, very soon. And a small piece of Earth from a viewing port of the American Module Lab. Now we're flying above the night side, my dear viewers. During this mission, Mikhail Kornienko has made the most peculiar journey around the world. He circumnavigated the globe almost 5.5 thousand times. To get back to the homeworld, the astronauts had to manage several orbital passes while already aboard the Russian Soyuz spacecraft. Flying through the ISS modules, I won't say for the last time, as I hope to come back. Now we're moving into the Russian module, Zarya. Also known as FGB. By the moment when Mikhail Kornienko was making this video, the ground personnel were already fully prepared to meet the astronauts. The search and rescue team, that is most of its members, was monitoring the localities near the settlement of Zhezkazgan in Karaganda region, where the capsule was to land. A few helicopter teams and some ground personnel controlled the secondary landing sites, and several crews and all-terrain vehicles were in the vicinity of the touchdown aim point, 150 kilometers southeast of Zhezkazgan. The search and rescue operations are conducted by about 200 Air Force and the Russian Central District Air Defense officers, including the officials of the Federal Air Transport Agency, the Cosmonaut Training Center, and the aerospace company Energia. These are professionals accustomed to performing very specific tasks.
I talked to the flight director this morning, everything is going well.
2 days before the touchdown, Karaganda witnessed a general meeting of all the military and officials taking part in the search operation. By that time, they've been informed about the exact location and time of landing, so the optimum situation applies the examination of both primary and secondary landing sites. Don't touch the red items. Don't approach the exit. That's flight safety precautions. Who's sitting here? You? You'll monitor. The regular crew of this helicopter would hardly need such instructions. But now it's carrying photographers and camera operators who have come to Kazakhstan to welcome the astronauts. The day before the capsule touchdown, journalists, among the others, are flying to the so-called Operation Airfield located in Zhezkazgan. It's the nearest one to the capsule landing site. In total, the search and rescue operation is performed by 12 M18 helicopters, 4 AN-12 and AN-26 airplanes and specific land transport vehicles. Situation report received. Okay. This is the crew of one of the search and recovery vehicles. Our camera operator has been traveling with them for 24 hours already. He was the only journalist who was allowed to join the land-based search team, so you're lucky to watch the most exclusive video. all-terrain vehicles are now approaching the touchdown aim point. At the same time, other two are going to the secondary landing site. The land-based search team is to reach the aim point well in advance so that it could send the data about the actual weather and atmosphere pressure to the Mission Control Center. How do you read me? Over. 5 by 5. Tinashayev speaking. The crew as well, that's essential. Sometimes, due to poor weather conditions for flying, only land transport vehicles happen to reach the aim point. In such cases, they set to retrieving the astronauts on their own. But even for all-terrain vehicles, early March turns out not to be the best time for crossing the grassland. One of the vehicles got stuck in mud, and everyone has to dig it out and push. Finally, even the cameraman put his camera down and grabs a shovel. On noticing a pistol flare light, another search vehicle that's got several kilometers ahead is racing to its rescue. The remaining distance they are covering together just to be on the safe side. Having reached the aim point, the land-based search and rescue team executes a halt. The crewmen are getting ready to sleep in the cars. Only a few more hours are left before the capsule touchdown. That's it. We're ready to shut the passageways. And we'd like to say goodbye to everyone and thanks. Today, I'm taking back home these outstanding astronauts, Scott and Misha. Well, so thank you all for the good work. It's been a long time. The former crewmen, especially Scott and Misha, have got tremendous achievements during their one-year mission. We're really grateful to the crew for its work and also want to thank the engineers and managers of our mission control centers in Houston, Moscow, Munich, and Cuba. Thank you for your work and good luck and goodbye. Okay, let's say goodbye and we'll leave. That's it. Thank you for everything. Everything will be tickety-boo. Make yourself comfortable. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. See you on the ground. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Misha, we'll see you.
Till the next time. We'll see you on the ground, Misha. Take care. Goodbye. Goodbye, Cameron. Goodbye. It was great working with you, my friend. Take care. Goodbye. Great work. Take care, guys. Goodbye. Where's my brush? The few photos taken as mementos, and we can close the passageways. But Mikhail Kornienko performs another important ritual, saying goodbye to his space home, where he stayed for a year. Station. Goodbye. Okay, let's go, Sergei. The crew gets into the spacecraft and shuts the passageways. There's 3 hours prior to the undocking. This time is spent on putting on the in-flight spacesuits, making themselves comfortable in their prone beds, and checking all the spacecraft systems. At 4:03 by Moscow time, the Soyuz with the astronauts aboard successfully undocked from the ISS. Observing disconnection with the ISS. Best wishes staying. Goodbye, Yuri Ivanovich. See you on the ground. Okay, fine, thank you. Well, we're at the airfield waiting for the departure. The first plane is taking off now. At 9:30 is the first one, and then the others one by one. The pilots worked out a plan, as it should be, so, well, everything's scheduled. Thanks. The deputy head of the Cosmonaut Training Center is talking on the phone with another mission control center located in Moscow. All the participants of the search and rescue operation are constantly exchanging data. The Mission Control Center reports on the spacecraft deorbiting. Everything is proceeding according to plan, and the helicopters are ready to take off on call. I've gained weight over the last couple of years. Is it all right? No, like this. The mask is obligatory. It'll save you from freezing. The journalists are also getting ready for the flight in their own way. The safety harnesses must be fastened, as the photos and videos of landings are always done with an open door. The places are chosen in advance so that all could capture the desired views. An hour prior to the landing, the helicopters depart and fly directly to the landing region. At the same moment in space, the most curious things are happening. The 2-hour undocked flight of the space vehicle has come to an end, and the space propulsion system produces a retrograde burn necessary for the Soyuz deorbiting. Half an hour later, the spacecraft has the habitation module and onboard systems section disconnected. And the crew faces the most dangerous stage of landing. We can observe the passive re-entry capsule. That is what it looks like from inside the capsule. The crewmen feel the impact of sustained acceleration that amounts to 4G, and if the capsule has a free flight trajectory, its level can be even higher. Surrounding the capsule is a plasma sheet, the temperature of which rises up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. That causes a break of the radio link, and in this case, one can enjoy the magnificent view through the window. For several minutes, the descending capsule is approaching Earth's surface with lightning speed. After the re-entry deceleration, the parachutes open. Firstly, the auxiliary one, and then the main one. Here starts the smooth phase of landing, and at that moment, everything is already under control. The capsule with the astronauts is being accompanied by airplanes and helicopters by the landing site. That's a great example of aerobatic maneuvering, to say the least of it, as more than 10 crafts are hugging the ground in the same small area. A strong wind has blown the capsule several kilometers further from the aim point. But in a couple of minutes, almost all the participants of the search and rescue operation have reached it. When we start the evacuation, step aside. The Sergei Volkov is the first one to be helped out of the capsule. Then came Scott Kelly's turn. Hail to American heroes. Scott, well done. Mikhail Kornienko is the last to leave the capsule. Now his one-year mission can be considered completed. Mikhail Borisovich, welcome home. Okay, take him. Careful. Put him down. Down, down. But the mission of the Russian astronaut hasn't been completed yet. We'll show how Mikhail Kornienko spent the first several hours on the ground and made the first steps on his native planet after a tremendously long space journey. We'll tell you more about the astronaut's physical state after landing, and you'll learn how the one-year expedition to the ISS actually ended.